Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're tackling a really layered topic, circumcision. We've got some fascinating source material that traces its path from, well, a physical commandment to something much more spiritual. Our goal here is to clarify how its meaning evolved and maybe uncover some insights you weren't expecting.
Absolutely. We'll see how this ancient physical practice actually points towards a really profound truth about faith, our identity, and genuine transformation. It's quite a journey.
Okay, let's start at the beginning then. Genesis chapter 17, right? It lays it out as this everlasting covenant, a physical sign for Abraham and his descendants. And pretty serious, too. The uncircumcised male was to be cut off from his people.
Oh, definitely not trivial. You see it emphasized elsewhere, too. Think about Exodus 4, where Moses apparently almost died because his son wasn't circumcised.
Right.
Or Joshua 5, after the Exodus, the whole generation had to be circumcised at Gilgal.
Right, after wandering in the wilderness. So it was absolutely central to their identity as God's chosen people.
Exactly. It was a physical commitment, a visible marker. But then things start to shift, or rather deepen. This is where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
The sources, especially the prophets, start talking about something beyond the physical. You have Deuteronomy 10 urging people, circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart.
Circumcise your heart. And Jeremiah 4 says something similar. Remove the foreskins of your hearts.
Yes, and it keeps going. Jeremiah 6 even mentions uncircumcised ears.
Ears, meaning they couldn't or wouldn't listen.
Precisely, a kind of spiritual deafness. And you see that echoed later in Acts 7, calling people uncircumcised in heart and ears.
So this language, this shift, what's the core message for us looking back at these texts?
It's signaling that the real deal, the true circumcision, is internal. It's about humility, like Leviticus 26 talks about a humbled heart. And Deuteronomy 30 links it to loving God completely with your whole heart.
And Paul really crystallizes this in Romans, doesn't he?
He does. Romans 2 is key. It says, genuine circumcision is of the heart by the Spirit, not just an outward physical thing anyone can see. It's about inner devotion.
Okay, so the physical act. It was always pointing towards something else.
A symbol. Exactly. A pointer, a symbol, yes. The sources frame physical circumcision as Abraham's expression of faith. Faith in what was promised the Messiah, the offspring of the woman. It was like a shadow pointing forward to the reality that was still to come.
A shadow and reality. And Colossians brings this into the Christian context, connecting it with baptism.
That's right. Colossians 2 talks about a circumcision made without hands. It's a spiritual act. It describes dying to the old self, the body of the flesh, and being raised to new life with Christ.
A complete spiritual rebirth.
That's the essence. Spiritual circumcision means dying to sin, being regenerated by the Holy Spirit, obeying the Messiah's teachings, and truly loving God and others. That transformation is what it means to become restored as God's image.
Becoming God's image.
Ooh.
That sounds like it goes beyond just personal salvation, though. Is there a bigger picture?
There is. This spiritual renewal, this inner circumcision or baptism, is linked in the sources to becoming what's called a firstborn.
A firstborn. What does that signify here?
It represents someone who overcomes, someone who, through this inner transformation, actually proves that God's way, his commandments, can be lived out. It's like a living refutation of the idea that humans are fundamentally incapable of aligning with the divine.
So it's not about your ancestry or bloodline at all?
Not ultimately, no. It's about embodying that divine image, living out that truth, whoever you are. The inner obedience validates the truth. The physical was the necessary, powerful precursor, but the spiritual is the ultimate fulfillment.
Okay, so we've traced circumcision all the way from a specific physical covenant sign to this profound concept of spiritual rebirth, tied up with faith, obedience, and really the ultimate truth about human potential and relationship with God.
Which really leaves us with a challenging thought, doesn't it? If the heart of it, the spiritual reality, is about cutting away those things that pull us away from God, about wholeheartedly obeying to the Spirit, well, it makes you ask, what aspect of your own life might need that kind of transformative cutting away to truly align with divine truth and purpose?